Okay. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a really fun transformation. I do a lot of blonde and extensions on my channel, and I'm doing another one today, but I'm excited for this one because it's going to be a color correction in a way. So if you kind of look at her hair, she has 3 different tones going on. She has her natural, a warm base color, and then her ends have been balayage, but they're just a little warmer since she's been going from dark hair, which is completely normal. So we are going to be lifting her out a little bit more, and we're going for like a rooted blonde look, and then we're adding extensions in. And we are using 3 different colors of extensions, so I'm going to go over how I place different colors, and I'm going to tell you why I choose to place this one here, this one there, because when you have 3 different colors, you need it to blend really well. So we're going to be matching her hair to the extensions, and we're going to be giving her an amazing rooted blonde look. I will insert a picture of the picture we are going for, like our goal. So if you are interested in watching this, let's get going and we'll start mixing up the color. Okay, so as you can see here, we have a few different tones throughout her hair. She has her natural base coming in, and then she has that warmer color throughout her mid shaft, and then her ends are pretty light, but we want to get them really icy. So we are going to go through and do something really cool to knock out all 3 of these tones and get a more even color. Okay, so my first color formulation is going to be Goldwell Colorant 6A 7N equal parts. And for my lightener formulation, I'm going to be using Schwarzkopf Blonde Me Bleach, and I'm doing 1 scoop. And I am going to mix this one with 20 volume, and then I'm doing another bowl of it with 1 scoop as well, and that one's going to be 30 volume. So as you see here, this one's 30 volume. And this one's going to be 20 volume, and I am mixing these to the consistency of like pancake batter, if that makes sense. I don't want it too thick or too thin. It's kind of just like in the middle since I'm using it for baby lights. Okay, and for the sake of this video, I wanted to try out something cool. Since I have 2 lightener formulations, I wanted to do olaplex in my first mix and then the redken pH bonder in my second mix. And the reason for this is just because I've had a lot of people ask which one I like better, and I don't know yet. I like them equally, so I'm going to do one in one mix and one in the other, and I'll tell you if I see any difference. Alright, and I'm just going to start by baby lighting up the head. So I like to part on angles and the back meeting up in the middle towards the top of the head. And like always, I use my board, especially towards the bottom of the head, because it gives me a better base support. So as you can see right here, I'm just putting a few foils on my board, getting my teeny tiny baby lights, and I'm going to be saturating the very tops of the hair, which is her natural base, with the warmer mid color. And I'm using that with the 30 volume. And I'm just saturating that super well, and then the very ends, I'm going to take my 20 volume and use just the 20 on the ends. Since they're already light enough, I don't want to put anything higher than a 20 on them. It's always important to keep in mind that when we are bleaching our client's hair, the integrity and health of the hair is #1 importance. So that's why I'm not doing anything higher than 20 on the ends. And then as you can see, I'm folding it up with the 20 on bottom, 30 on top, so they don't run into each other. But we just want to make sure that we're always keeping that in mind first, because we don't want our client's hair to fall out. Even if it takes longer to get blonder, it's always better to do it in sessions and kind of err on the safe side of things. So now I'm just on the other side of the head, working my way up, doing exactly what I did on the other side. I'm just kind of showing you this side
just for fun, I guess, and it's kind of a closer up angle so you can see. And you can see inside the hair once we're in it, it's a little warmer throughout the mid shaft, and that's just where she had previously colored her hair. So there was a darker base color applied and then bleached around it. So that's why I'm using the 30 throughout there, because it's going to be harder to break through that color since it's warmer. And as you know, color's, a little harder to break through. So I'm doing the 30 there and then the 20 throughout those ends just to pop them out a bit. And then right here, I am actually just doing the 30, taking it down as far as needed, and then those ends were actually pretty light, so I am just going to leave them out of the foil and not put bleach on them at all. And I am doing this wherever I feel like her ends are already light enough. Now that she's all foiled up in the back, I am going through and applying that 6A7N as a base color, and then I am just dragging that down, coloring all of her natural, and then kind of sliding it down so that it gets her mid shaft too. And I'm just hoping that that 6A is going to help cancel some of that warmth throughout the mid shaft of her hair. And applying this base color in between foils is also going to help us achieve that rooted blonde look that we're going for. She wants to be pretty icy, bright blonde, but she wants depth in her root so that her natural will grow out really nicely and that she won't be like too overall blonde. And step 3 is I'm now teasing out her ends. So I am just taking all of the dropouts from the foils section by section, and I am using my 20 volume and just balayaging whatever dropout was left. So as you can see here, I'm just taking that 20 volume with the lightener, massaging it through her hair, working it through, making sure there's no harsh lines, and this is just going to pop out any remaining gold and warmth throughout her ends. And I am just going to do that working my way up the back of the head, and I am doing this all evenly as I go. So as soon as I finish the baby lights, I did the base color, and then now I'm doing the dropouts. That way it all processes evenly. I used to do all the baby lights around the whole entire head first and then do the dropouts, but I noticed that the dropouts were a little warmer by the time I was done because they didn't process as long. So I am just going through and doing them right after the baby lights, and then I'll go and finish the front of the head and then do the exact same thing. So now that I'm coming around to the front of the face, I am doing the Beloved Money piece. This is just a brighter piece that's a little thicker than the rest of the highlights, and this is just to give the client like a little bit of brightness around the face. A lot of people tend to like that because it looks really sun-kissed and natural. So I usually do like 1 or 2 slices, and then I just do my baby lights really close together for the next few foils after that. And then the rest of the foils were spaced out a little more so that it looks a little more rooted and dimensional. But around the face, I just do them tighter together to make a brighter appearance. Okay, so here are the extensions before I've purple shampooed them. They're just still in the package. The one on the left is an ombre, then we have a low light highlight in the middle, and then a rooted one. So I am going to take purple shampoo to all of these just to brighten them up a bit and ash them out as well. And I am using the Sexy Hair Sulfate-Free Blonde Shampoo. This is my favorite one because sulfates dry your hair out, and especially on extensions, we do not want to dry the hair out. And sulfates do that, so it's sulfate-free, which helps a ton. And I am just massaging it through the hair, leaving it on like 30 seconds to a minute at the very, very most. These extensions were really porous, so they picked it up really quickly. So I am just working it through all of the hair, and then I will show you what it looks like after we rinse out the purple shampoo. Okay, here are the extensions after we've rinsed out the purple shampoo and dried them. As you can see, they're not as yellow toned. They're just a little more like ashy and shiny and just beautiful and ready to match her hair. Okay, so now I'm mixing up what I'm going to do in the bowl. So I am doing a rooted look on her. So I am mixing up a root color, which is Goldwell Colorants, my go-to, my favorite, my ride or die. You guys already know this because I use it in every video. And I am just adding to the 6A 7N that I had already left over from her hair. And I am just adding in a 7NA to that and mixing it up for her root area. Okay, so now I'm mixing up Shades EQ for the toner on her ends, and I think I used 9V, 9P, and a little bit of 9T just to cut any remaining warmth. 9V, 9P is like my go-to for like that ashy, silvery tone. It's like my favorite thing ever, and then the T just adds a little more silver, so it makes it like last a little longer, and I mixed 4 ounces of this total with the processing solution and toner. Okay, so here I am just doing her root color in the bowl, so we call it root smudging, root tapping. There's a lot of different terms for it, and I am just taking that 6A, 7N, 7NA in Goldwell Colorants that I had mixed up, and I am just parting her hair off in 4 sections and working my way up the hair. It's kind of hard to see here because my stupid back was blocking the camera, but I am just kind of rubbing it into her hair, saturating it really well, taking small sections, and then pulling it down about 3 to 4 inches. And so since I did the side, now I'm working my way to the back, and my lovely assistant Bailey is holding the bowl for me, which makes it so much easier. And then I just work my way around the head and do the other side as soon as I finish the back. So as you can see, I am now working on the left side of the head, and then I end up doing the bangs very last just because we have the brighter pieces around the bangs and I want to keep them brighter for a reason. I just want them to look brighter. So I am doing all of the head and then working my way to the bangs very last, and I am not taking it down as far in the bang. As you can see, I'm just barely tapping out the root in the bang area, bringing it back down about 1 inch at the very most, and that's going to give her a brighter appearance around the face. Okay, and now that the root is on, I actually decided to take a 6T from Redken Shades and use that as my mid-shaft toner since it was a little warmer. So that's what I'm doing right here, and that all sat for about 5 minutes, and then I did the 9P, 9V, 9T throughout her very ends. Okay, it's extension time, so I am just going to kind of let this run, and you guys can watch how I place them, and I'll just add commentary here and there if I feel like I need to, but I'll kind of go over what I'm doing right here. So I just put one extension at the base right in the middle, as you can see, And as soon as that's in, I take my texturizing shears and I texturize the very bottom. As you can see, her hair was a very blunt cut, and I want to break that up a bit so that the extensions blend more naturally. So I am just wisping out her ends a little bit, and then I'm taking my next partings on an angle, as you can see. So I have one in the middle, and then I'm bricklaying up on an angle on the right side, and then I'll do another angle on the left side. And then this is how I place them, as I just kind of work my way up. I only utilize, I cannot talk today. I only utilize angles in a few certain areas. I don't do them all over the head, but in this area for sure you need them because there's a corner. Just like in hair cutting, you can cut corners. So you need to have here, an extension here to cover that corner, if that makes sense. And now I'm using that same bricklay pattern, and I'm going to do one in the middle, and then I'm just going to continue to bricklay up the entire head, and then I won't do another angled piece until I get to the front of her hair. Okay, so this is another way that you can place tape-ins. As you could see before, I was doing one piece on bottom and then putting another piece over top of it, but my assistant Bailey does it the opposite way, where she puts one on top and then puts the other one underneath it. So that's what I was doing here too. So I was kind of demonstrating for you guys a few different ways that you could do it. Okay, so since I'm working with 3 different tones in all of these hair extensions, it's kind of key how you decide to place them. So what I'm doing is I am piggybacking one ombre with a low light, and then I'll do one rooted with a low light, and then I will alternate it and do one rooted with an ombre, and just making sure that the low lights are spread evenly throughout, and then just piggybacking the rest. And I forgot about this one. Here's another angle, just because I feel like around this area of the head, there's just a lot of corners when you're trying to connect the back to the front. So I like to utilize angles right here as well, just so it falls really naturally and it blends those corners in as you start adding more to the front to make it blend better. I hope that makes sense, but that's where I utilize angles. It kind of helps it blend better. Alright, so when it comes to the front of the head, it gets a little trickier because you want to make sure that you place one kind of by the ear so that you connect the back to the front, but you also want to be able to make sure your client can like tuck their hair behind their ear, so you don't want to do it too close to the ear, especially because when it grows out, it'll bump into their ear. It gets really tricky. You kind of just have to learn as you go and like kind of decide where it works for you. But I'm basically bricklaying up the head, covering those corners, and then I'm just bricklaying continually up, and then I do utilize angles just right around her face so that it falls forward and fills in any gaps she may have. Okay, real quickly, I wanted to talk about how I felt between the Redken pH bonder and Olaplex, and my verdict is all of her hair felt amazing. I think they're pretty comparable. I liked them both, so I will continue to use both. You guys know me, I am a true diehard Olaplex lover, and I've used it for years, so I really trust it. So I will continue to always use that, but I will throw in the Redken pH bonder if I'm running low on Olaplex or, you know, something like that. It's a good alternative. So I just wanted to give you guys my opinion on that. I think they both work really great.
Had my model come back because the lighting was really terrible last night when we had finished. It was like 8:30, really dark, really gold, so I just couldn't get great pictures of her hair. So here it is. As you can see, we have that rooted blonde look. She has dimension throughout here. Since her extensions were balayage, we wanted to match that. But we also have her blondes going higher up, so it's really pretty, but her ends are that icy blonde that we were going for. We love it. But the last time she had gotten her hair done, they applied a base color and then balayaged around it. So wherever we had that base color, we have just a little bit of warmth because lifting color out is really hard. But it's actually really pretty. It blends really well, but next time I'm just going to go through and do it one more time and then it'll be perfect. But as you guys know, color isn't perfect the first time, but I'm really happy with what we got this session. It looks really good. It blends well. Her extensions look so good. And they're so soft, long, thick, full. How do you feel about it?
Love it.
Love it?
So excited.
She looks like a whole new woman. And she used to have like all dark hair, so this is the first time she's been blonde, and I just love it so much. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, anything, leave them in the comments below for me. Let me know what type of video you would like me to do next, and don't forget to like and subscribe.